건설 사업가.
Who am I here with today?
Justin Waller의.
What industry did you decide to pursue a career in?
Yeah, so it started off in steel. I was 24, started hanging steel locally in Louisiana. Now we have over 200 men, coast to coast, California to New York, Caribbean. We'll put steel up on the moon.
How long have you been in construction for?
I've been in construction 15 years next March.
How important has that focus been, becoming an expert as opposed to trying to diversify and jump from industry to industry? How important has it become for you becoming a master, one of the best in the world at one thing?
Yeah, I think if I would give my young self credit for anything, it would be that I stayed in the same fight. A lot of people, they go into a career, they start getting banged up a little bit, and then they change directions. But what they don't understand is they're going to take the beginner's licks of that new industry. So if I did anything right, even though the model might not have been the model that I think ultimately I'll end up in, I stayed in the same thing long enough to make substantial money to create freedom. If you can create freedom, then you can go start watering other plants. You see, we only get so much energy in life. And so you have this cup of water, let's call it your energy. If you pour it over too many plants, you'll never bear fruit on any of them. So the one thing I did right was stay in the same industry for a very, very long time. And now I can branch out, do other things, grow other businesses, look at other business models that might be better off in the long run.
And do you come from money?
Fuck no. Hell no, man. No, not at all. I grew up in South Louisiana. There was no money around, I can tell you.
So what was that turning point like for you? Like, how did you know you wanted to get really serious about becoming financially free and building that long-term generational wealth? What was the turning point like for you?
Well, I think what happens is when you're in a situation, any situation, and this is not uncommon, you either become the situation that you're in, the atmosphere, or you decide that you want to do anything but be in that atmosphere. So for me, it was a pretty easy decision to make that I just wanted to find out what else was out there. I knew what I didn't want. And so it put me on this path to finding more and more consciousness. And as I come across those things in my growth and whatever I do, as far as the level of obtainment of my goals I hit, every time I get to the top of a mountain, I'm constantly looking for the next one. And so I think there's two things. You run away or decide not to be what you were a part of. And then two, on that path, you find more consciousness, which kind of controls your direction you go. And once you identify those things and you identify that you can do those things and you get on that path, generally the happiness is on the climbing part. Just make sure you're looking for the next one to climb, because you can get in trouble if you get to the top and you have nowhere to go.
How did you get the money to start this business?
No, man, we didn't have any money. So what I had to do is go out and get contracts and then go to the bank and show them I had contracts and try to get lines of credit. My first line of credit was for $15,000. I'll never forget it because my payrolls were like $2,500 a week because I had like 2 guys maybe, and we were doing backyard buildings. And so I always say about when it comes to dealing with the banks, always go to the banks when you're solvent and you have a lot of money. But in the case that you don't have a lot of money, that's what an entrepreneur does. He figures it out. So I took my contracts that I had won, and then I went to the bank and showed them that I had a contract, and they gave me a little loan against it to get me through the first couple.
What has been the most amount of money that you've ever made in a single year?
Ooh, single year? 5 in a year.
$5 million.
Yeah.
That's just for yourself?
Yeah, that's take home.
Take home.
You know, that's complete take home, yeah.
How about for the businesses?
Businesses, we've got it up to 35.
$35 million.
Yeah.
How did you scale from 7 to 8 figures?
2 things. It's systems, and then it's competent people with intent. So if you take intention and then you take competency, their ability to do it, that means they want to and they can. If you can put those 2 things together and have them help you build the systems out, now I say help you very intentfully, because a lot of times if you make a plan and you hand it to somebody, they have no ownership, which means they're sitting in the boat with their arms crossed waiting for it to go wrong. But if they can help you build systems and be a part of building something, then they can have ownership in it. And when they can have ownership in it, they can get behind it. So intention, competency, and the ability to be a part and have autonomy in a company is going to take you a long way when it comes to dealing with employees and staff. And then one last thing, make sure you manage from a place of I should be paying you more money, not you should be making me richer. If I can jump somebody's ass because I should be writing them a bigger bonus check, then we're in a very, very healthy place, because in that way you've created an entrepreneur inside the business and you are grading them on performance based off of things that should align with something that is valuable to them as well. And that's making more money, having a better future for themselves, and being able to see a vision that can fit inside yours.
What's the best advice that you've ever got from a mentor?
My favorite quote is that you can tell the size of a man by the size of his problems. If you can learn to embrace the things that are getting in your way, embrace the failures that are coming, those are just small bricks that are going to build your castle in life. Every time you fail, you must be grateful for it and see it as a part of the story that you're going to tell people one day on a podcast, on a yacht, on a boat, on a plane, or in a restaurant, of how you became the man that you are. And if you don't have any of those stories, nobody will be interested in your story at all, and it'll mean nothing. So start to take pride in the negative things that happen to you, because those are the things that are going to make you the man that you're going to become.
For every new level, there's a new devil.
Every king's got scars, cowboy.
Yeah, that's crazy. If you lost everything tomorrow, could you make it all back?
Fucking right. You drop me butt naked in any city in America, I'll be hanging steel in 6 weeks.
So you go right back into steel.
And that's what's most important is if you stick to the same thing again and again and again and again, you get a superpower that many people don't understand, and it's that nobody can ever take it away from me. I know for a fact I could go anywhere, be hanging still in 6 weeks.
Yeah. How old are you now?
38.
Last message to the younger generation. They want to get Justin Waller rich in today's world. How can somebody become a multimillionaire like yourself in today's world?
You can tell the size of a man by the size of his problems. Get up every day, every time you get hit in the face, have a relentless heart, and there's nothing this world can't stop you from doing.
Thank you so much for your time, brother. I appreciate you.
반드시 기억하세요. 1. 자유를 얻을 수 있는 충분한 돈을 벌 만큼 오랫동안 같은 일을 해라. 2. 인생에서 쓸 수 있는 에너지는 한정되어 있다는 사실을 기억해라. 3. 지금 상황에서 벗어나기 위해 무엇이든 하겠다고 다짐해라. 4. 내가 겪고 있는 모든 장애물과 실패는 인생의 성을 쌓아 올리는 작은 벽돌일 뿐이다. 5. 사람의 그릇은 그가 감당하는 문제의 크기로 결정된다. 즉 커다란 문제를 해결할 방법을 찾아라.